I mix what I like, what I like, what I like, what I like, what I like. What's up, world? Welcome to this quick hit of I Mix What I Like here at BPM. Again, I'm Jared Ball, very happy to be your host. So again, forgive me for not remembering whoever sent me the alerted me to the new song from Ludacris titled "By Black," or "By All Black." Uh, but if it was you, please reach back out so I can properly thank you and maybe if you like publicly credit you. But I do enjoy in these certain small circles being that buying power guy. And every once in a while, people hit me up with a number of things, and this was one of them. So I wanted to check it out. I'm not going to play the songs. I don't want to get a copyright thing, but it's a new song, as you see here, called "By All Black" from Ludacris, featuring Flo Milli and PJ. Sounds all right. I'm not here to judge the production or the lyrics. It's, Ludacris can rhyme. He does his thing on the verse, but that's sort of my point. So, but in so doing, powerfully spreads. In fact, what was I just writing? Because I am still working. So what did I say of Jay-Z? Because Ludacris does the same thing here. Powerfully reconstitutes and redistributes dangerously a black capitalist logic, which has been encouraged as acceptable and against which many have written and struggled, and on some small level, including myself. So what I wanted to do is just pull up here the lyrics for us to look at and see what it does here. And I think, as you can see, it does quite a lot. So the track is, again, "Buying All Black." And that's the hook. They love it when I walk like this and talk like that. Yeah, when I'm shopping, yeah, I'm buying all black. When I walk like this, talk like that, and when I'm shopping, man, I'm buying all black. Buying all black, buying all black. Okay, I'm buying all black, dropping all stacks, buy black in all caps. Out the traps to get riches, the senseless still pay the tax. So one thing that struck me in this, again, is that it's that Donald Trumpian Republican black capitalist logic of, if you pay taxes, you're stupid. That's how I read that, or how I heard that. So it's the senseless still pay the tax. And what I think is part of what I think that does is take us away from the collective nature of both the wealth we create and the fact that it should be redistributed. And that's ideally what taxes would provide. Now I know what MMT is, I'm still learning about, and others are arguing, and I get it. It's beyond all of that, but I'm just simply saying the logic of redistribution and collective is assaulted in this idea that, why should we pay taxes? I want to keep everything I earn. Well, ideally, you would want to pay more taxes because we're getting more back from more for everyone. And what has been shown on many occasions is that particularly in the United States, when we are told here, pay less tax and have less provided by the state, what ends up happening is we end up paying more than we would in taxes for the things that we need in terms of service, healthcare in particular. So we should want to pay taxes, and we should just get more for it. This is where we built. So I'm building a business. Can I get a witness? This here was built on our backs. So again, the idea, because of enslavement and et cetera, and oppression, the goal should be to build a business. Put that work in, no more twerking till we bottle it and sell it. Get the paper in the hood, redistribute it and scale it. Build a brand, make a logo, partnership, or dolo. So even though he uses the word redistribute, what I think is really what I think it is an assault on even the concept, again, by even using the word, because what he really means is redistribute wealth back to the hood, but not in a way that would, but inadvertently at least, he's doing it in a way that would not lead to an eradication of hoods and hood-like conditions. So it's just another way of saying those of us who start businesses, as he goes on in the next line, to start bottling and selling our culture. So, and then he does the traditional thing of make a logo, start a t-shirt company, or is that later in the track, in the verse? But the point being that the redistribution back to the hood would not be what would eradicate those conditions. It would be what relative accumulation would just go to the handful of business, the black bourgeoisie in the hood, and at best, and I mean that at best. Then go and buy some land before you go and cop that 4-door. Again, as I've said over and over again, this is part of the mythology. There is no land to buy. People buy what they have access to. And this is so deep. So I put this out on Instagram yesterday. I ran into, as I was working on the second edition of the book, I'm literally writing about all of this, and I overhear this conversation. I'm not going to repeat the whole thing. You see that on Instagram. But what I did not include there was, well, this part was included, that this idea that we should be more financially responsible and literate. And in this case, Ludacris is saying buy land before you buy that 4-door. And as I was saying to the sister yesterday, and to her buddy, who was under the impression, both of them, he and she were under the impression that, again, there is wealth and money to be made. We're just being ignorant about it. And I was saying to her, because she works in auto sales or deals, or I don't know, she suggested she was doing quite well, although she acknowledged she lost $30,000 in crypto. Apparently she can sustain that, but nonetheless, so I didn't go so far as to say, well, had you been watching my show, but anyway, but I'm just saying, I'm just playing. It's unfortunate. It's really my point. That's the underlying reality is that I'm not happy to have been right on that. But anyway, but I said to her, I could get a $50,000 loan from a bank to buy a car, but I could not get that same loan to buy land, and the land doesn't exist. And as I go over in the book, just at least a little bit, and reference some stats, what is it? 4 white men in the United States own more land than all of Black America combined. There is no land to buy. And then what are you going to do with that land? How are you going to invest and make it, so it's part of the mythology that is often reported, but that suggests that we're just being ignorant. But that's just not how people buy cars, because that's what they have access to. They do not have access to land. Those that like to follow trends time and time again, if it's for us and it's by us, I bet all we'll do is win. So no matter what this costs, my hustles and my scholars can't lose if we choose the almighty black dollar. So again, he doesn't go so far as, and then it's back to the hook, but he doesn't go so far as to fully, I think, push the circulating black dollar myth. But it's 2 black myths. Myself have shown, demonstrated, links are in the show description. That's not real. There is we even trace the origin, as far as it's demonstrable, back to this idea of a black dollar circulating like in other communities. That's not how wealth is created. That came up in the discussion in my impromptu discussion with folks yesterday. Once again, they were just going through the list, and again, when I asked them where do they get their information, Earn Your Leisure, Roland Martin, $1 million worth of game, the whole Ian Dunlap, the whole roster. And I was just like, yep. And they're all wrong. And then of course she's like, what do you must be crazy. And I'm like, no, I'm just right. And I have the receipts and the data, but you gotta, check it out. Um, but here it is again. And what and my point really, and my interest in doing even this little short video is that I'm again, as I'm compiling and working on the second edition of the book, I'm just seeing again, and this is my point to share, that this is how the mythology just permeates, and how people end up just through sheer repetition and ubiquitousness. People assume that it's real. And like Theodore Adorno said, we mistake recognition for liking something. Mistake liking for recognition. Anyway, buying all black, buying all black, buying all black. Okay, my hat matching my bag. I guess we buying all black. This 4C, this ain't track. So if you touch, get smacked. Buying all black. I never think twice. You could do it too if you just pay the price, but actually you can't. So this is another part of the mythology that I've gone over in critiquing Maggie Anderson's work and et cetera, and so on and so forth. That again, also in the show description, Dr. King did not advocate buying black. In fact, quite the opposite. And in fact, in just a minute, I'll even show you the headline from that. But the reality is, black people do not have enough businesses and enough capacity and enough investment and enough capability to produce and mass produce and distribute all the goods that all of us as consumers need. So you can, if you have money and time, you can go all over the country finding black people who sell whatever particular item you might want or need. But for the most part, on a day-to-day basis, black people don't have access to black producers of goods that they need, and black producers of goods don't have the capacity to scale up to satisfy that consumer base, even if it was there. Largely, again, because black people as a community don't have the collective income or wealth. And then there's no outside and there's no venture capital investment at the levels that would allow for competition with whites or others in most sectors of the economy to scale up and to support these black businesses. So it's a little bit more complicated than songs like this, statements by people on podcasts make. And never with any data to support them. So again, or maybe now a second source is the McKinsey group, but McKinsey and Selig equally have bad methodology and use the same flawed methodology to claim buying power. So it's just, anyway, it's do everything that they said you can't. That you can touch a mill if you're doing it big. You ain't got to brag about what's in the bank. Exotic bundles, bags, and clothes. I got it. Black dollar. I put that in my pocket. I was born a winner, so nobody can stop me. I don't know what that means. A black dollar I put in my pocket. What is the black dollar? Again, it's not. It doesn't. There aren't enough of them. There aren't enough dollars controlled and owned by black people for there to be this kind of possibility for all of black people. So anyway, it's just another example of a popular, well-produced track that redistributes the mythology. So I just want to pull this up here. And again, the link is in the show description, what Dr. King actually said. So as Dr. King said in reference to buying black, however much we pool our resources and buy black, this cannot create the multiplicity of new jobs and provide the, I got a typo here, the number of low-cost houses that will lift, let me back up. However much we pool our resources and buy black, this cannot create the multiplicity of new jobs and provide the number of low-cost houses that will lift the Negro out of the economic depression caused by centuries of deprivation. Neither can our resources supply quality integrated education. All of this requires billions of dollars, which only an alliance of liberal labor civil rights forces can stimulate. In short, the Negro's problem cannot be solved unless the whole of American society takes a new turn toward greater economic justice. From where do we go from here? Chaos or community? Page 51 of my Kindle edition. So he goes on to say more, obviously, and he said more in more in radical critique of capitalism, as we've talked over and over again on this program. But is often misquoted, including by Maggie, the aforementioned Maggie Anderson, and others, to help produce this mythology that if we do for self and we can be okay, and Black business is somehow a part of a Black liberation struggle as it supported civil rights and Dr. King. All of this is at most incomplete and continues to be part of the problem. So, all right, that's it. Just wanted to do a quick response to that. Thanks to whoever sent that to me. Please let me know. I apologize for not making a note of it at the time, as often is the case, but thanks to you, and continue to do it. So thanks, everybody. Peace, as Fred Hampton used to say, as long as you're willing to fight for it. Catch you next time here at I Mix What I Like. I mix what I like, what I like, what I like, what I like, what I like.